would you pick up? I know you would say yes, I would pick up, but let me hear what you would say. Rogers, if your ex called you at midnight, would you pick up? And if you do, why would you pick up? I would want to hear what your take is on that one. If they called you at midnight, hey Rogers, I want to talk, I'm bored, and this, would you pick up? I need to hear from you, Rogers. Let me know. And everyone else who is watching, uh, would you pick up? And also, I wanted to hear the other question is, you got to know that your ex is getting engaged. Would you be happy or secretly hurt? I need to hear from Shamboya. I need to hear from Dina, TJ, and Roger says, yes, I can. I don't want to go back to failure because the relationship failed and I love to go to new dynamics. That is Dina. Hey, Vivian. Good evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. You are late, but I'm glad that you have tuned in. I think you came in with Rogers and one of you dropped the other, and somehow you ended up here. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. The topic of discussion is, can exes be friends? If yes, type yes. If no, type no. And also let me know, if an ex called you at midnight, would you pick up and why? And the other question I wanted Shaboya and TJ to respond to was, if you got to hear that your ex is getting engaged, would you be happy or secretly hurt? I would want to hear from you as well regarding that one. Even you, Rogers. And Lillian says, Lillian, most welcome, mommy. Don't lie. Hey, Rogers says, Lillian, you're most welcome. Mommy, don't lie. Don't lie about what? Rogers, let me know what I'm lying about so that, we can clear the air. You even said I gave a wrong number. That is the number to the chat, guys, to the group. And Shaboya says, I would be happy that they found love, but secretly be crashing inside. Oh, that would be something. Yeah. But if you've moved on, would you crash still? Getting to hear that your ex is getting engaged, I don't think I would move on. I would crash inside. Why? Because I've also moved on. And anytime someone drops you for someone else, they've dropped a good thing and have opted to go with rubbish. They've left you and gone off with the wrong person. So feel free, feel happy, glad that they dropped you when they did. Because guess what? Something better will pick you up, or someone better will come along your way and make you forget that that person that you lost. Yeah. For me, I would think if you've moved on, you make good of that. Anyone who drops you has dropped a good thing. We all need to have self-worth. The problem is we tend to lose ourselves when we start relating with people. And then we start thinking less of ourselves. We start forgetting who we truly are. And then we make ourselves believe what these people that we are with have made us believe. But if someone drops you, let it be their loss and your gain. And you move on and hold your head up high and go and wait until better grounds are raised your way. I want to read also some other comment. Dina says, everything you do with an ex fails automatically because they are residues from the past. I like the way you put it, Dina. They are truly residues from the past. We just need to pick ourselves up and go and prove it. One way I've always learned to beat those who are not against me is to be successful. You beat them with success. You succeed at whatever you purpose to do. And guess what? That will always crush those who are not for you. And that is the only way you can revenge that is the sweetest revenge. So succeed, be happy, and let them see what they lost. I agree with you, Dina. And Lillian says, hi, Rogers. Rogers says, about Lillian. Oh, so I lied about Lillian. Oh, you are not with her. Okay. I thought you had gone off with her. That's why she was off, because I was not seeing her. Yeah, I'm sorry on that one. And Cedric says, I wouldn't care. That's a good take. He says he wouldn't care if the ex got engaged to someone else. I want to hear from you, Rogers. Would you care if your ex got engaged to someone else? Lydian, I want to hear, would you care if your ex got engaged to someone else, or you would secretly hurt? And Lydian says, I believe that an ex became an ex for a reason. Why go back? That's my kind of tea. I would actually agree with Lillian on that one, because they are exes for a reason. Why it didn't work out before is because you're not compatible. You are not meant for each other. Choosing to go back to them is really narrowing our scope to a small circle. We think it was only him in the picture, and so once he's out, that is it for you. Really, you can broaden your eyes and see with better lenses that there is more out there, and there is someone who will value you for who you are, for who you truly are. But we tend to be crushed, and in our sorrow, we keep them around as friends, hoping maybe when they are trying with other people, things will fall apart and then they come back to us. That is not so good. And Dina says about if you get to hear your ex getting engaged to someone else, she says, I don't care since he's my failed road. Ah, that is good. Thank you, Dina, for sharing. Rogers, I'm yet to hear from you. Would you care if your ex got engaged to someone else, or would you secretly crash or secretly bleed at the knowledge that your ex is getting married to someone else or getting engaged to someone else, or something that never happened with you and your ex is now happening for someone else? Would you care, or it would crush you? Rogers, let me know. Another one that I wanted to ask was, if your ex calls and tells you they miss you, would you be tempted? I need to hear from you, Shaboya, TJ. Would you be tempted if your ex called you and said they missed you? Would you care? Rogers, I need to hear. Would you be crushed if your ex got engaged? But as for the rest, I want to hear, guys. Would you be tempted if your ex called you and said they missed you? Lydia, Dina, and TJ, Cedric, Shaboya, would you care if your ex called and said they missed? Would you care really? Let me know in the comment section. Guys, it's a live chat, and here we normally talk about life and everything in between. Today we are talking about, should exes be friends? If you believe exes can be friends, go ahead and drop yes. And if you think they cannot be friends, go ahead and drop no, because really, they can't be friends. Let me know what you think. I was giving options as to circumstances under which it could be okay for exes to be friends. If you both moved on, that is a good ground, maybe to be friends. If you mean it, as in they are exes for real. Dina says, I just know that it's a death warrant. Oh, Dina thinks it's a death warrant to be friends with your exes. Okay, that's her take, and I think she's right to some degree. And there are no hidden feelings. If there are no hidden feelings, you can be friends with your ex. But if you find like there's that, feeling that keeps on cropping up each time you're around them and they're with someone else, then you shouldn't be friends. Or if there is emotional manipulation, you should be friends. If there is no emotional manipulation, you respect each other's boundaries and new partners. And Lillian says, personally, I wouldn't care. Oh, that is sweet. I for one, I wouldn't care. If my ex dropped me and now got engaged with someone else, well, one man's poison is another man's. There's a way they put it. Yeah, he lost. You won because you yet to get someone better. And if he's found someone better, that's good for them. In Uganda, we use so many phrases to put that, but I'll keep it that way. Otherwise, yeah, yeah. But there's a way us ladies tend to think that once a person, especially in Africa, can you imagine if your wife died? It's easy to get someone else. But if you're a woman and your husband died, oh my goodness, it would seem like you are supposed to be a certified widow. You're not supposed to move on or get someone else in your life. It's like you are certified now. You should be alone and alone for life, regardless of the age at which you lost your partner or your husband. But when it comes to exes, it's a different story. We don't do exes being friends. Like my friend Eva was saying that for her, she moved on, got married, and her ex got married. Now they do double dates. That is kind of crazy. And Dina says, only if there are children in the picture. And once they are mature, then I don't see myself in the picture. And I agree with Dina because there are circumstances under which that kind of relationship could exist. If you have children together, a business together, mutual responsibilities, yeah, you can be friends with your ex. But under no circumstances can we be friends if we did meet up at work, at school, and then stay friends. And there's nothing binding us. If it's at work, I can ignore you and go about doing my work, and once I'm done, I'm out. There's a reason why we move on. It's called moving on. And like Lillian said, you are an ex for a reason. Things didn't work out. So if I try to force them to work out a second go round, at least we be friends. If we fail to be friends before,